Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Fans of Star Trek, Voyager have been put through the ringer with Captain Janeway's final mission, delivering a brutal twist on the TV show's final episode. Thankfully, the new series' writers promise viewers are about to get the happy ending the original TV series deprived them of. As fans well know, the original Voyager series ended with the starship returning to Earth, but concluded before the ship could land and deliver the crew their many well-deserved reunions. So when Star Trek, Voyager, Homecoming continued the story, nobody was prepared for species 8472 to hijack the ship and leave the system. That cruel twist is delivering one last adventure. But speaking with Traversing the Stars co-writer Susan and Tilly Bridges reassure fans that a satisfying, long-awaited ending will be coming at series' end. These quotes are short of any confirmation about the uncertain fate of Tuvok, but will still come as a relief to the most skeptical trekkers. Given Voyager's previous ending, any potential follow-up was partly doomed from the beginning, having gotten the journey. Voyager fans only care about the destination. But rather than subverting or altering the canon, the makers of Homecoming seem to be exploring one last dangling plot thread before relieving the crew from duty. The Bridgeses have spoken in the past about Captain Janeway's mishandling of species 8472, a legitimately meaningful story beat for the most dedicated fans. Rather than simply reminding fans or resolving a subplot, the idea of using the storyline to give Janeway a more nuanced ending is enticing. But will the series land the final issue? Time will tell. For nearly a quarter-century, Star Trek, Voyager fans have carried around the same unspoken ache, a sense that the crew's triumphant return to the Alpha Quadrant in Endgame was exhilarating but incomplete. There were promised emotional resolutions we never saw, character arcs left in stasis, and bonds formed in the Delta Quadrant that the show never allowed us to truly process. But now, with Starfleet announcing a brand new Voyager's focused streaming event, the final chapter fans have quietly hoped for is finally beginning to unfold. Early whispers suggest this isn't just a reunion, nor a nostalgic cameo fest. Instead, it aims to be a thoughtful, emotionally resonant epilogue, one that honors the Delta Quadrant survivors, brings closure to their open wounds, and answers the lingering question of what happens after home is finally reached. And for the first time in years, it feels like the audience's voice is at the helm. A finale that reflects 25 years of fan longing. The original finale wrapped up the show's themes, resourcefulness, survival, found family, but it left its characters with only a few seconds of reunion before cutting to black. Fans wanted the healing, the fallout, the joy, even the awkwardness of rediscovering life after the greatest odyssey in Starfleet history. This new project promises something quietly radical, a finale where the emotional consequences are allowed to breathe. Instead of a high-stakes timeline twist or Borg-blasting climax, the story is reportedly focusing on the crew's lives years after their homecoming, how they adapted or failed to, how Starfleet's shiny expectations clashed with their Delta-honed instincts, and how unresolved relationships simmered in the silence of duty. And most intriguingly, a new crisis is about to force these long-separated officers back together. But it's not a universe-ending threat. It's far more personal. Janeway's reckoning and redemption. At the heart of the new finale is Admiral Catherine Janeway, a legend whose controversial choices have only grown more fascinating over time. Fans have often debated whether she was a savior, a renegade, or a commander pushed past any reasonable limit by isolation and necessity. The new special leans directly into those questions. Years after Voyager's return, Janeway is confronted with the long-ignored psychological cost of her decisions, by her Admiralty peers, by the Federation's political pressures, and most importantly, by her own crew. Not with anger, but with honesty. The Delta Quadrant turned all of them into different versions of themselves. Now they finally get to talk about it, and Janeway, after years of being the unbreakable center of the storm, must address what it means to face a challenge she cannot outthink, outfight, or outmaneuver. Accepting the emotional weight of being the captain who brought them home, but at great personal cost. This is the character-driven resolution fans have wanted since 2001. Seven of Nine's legacy comes full circle, with Seven of Nine's return to prominence in Star Trek. Picard. Her story has only grown richer and more complicated. Fans will finally see how her early post-Voyager years shaped the woman who eventually became Starfleet's most unconventional captain. The new finale reportedly explores her struggle to fit into a Starfleet that viewed her with suspicion, her mentorship of Ikeb, before tragedy altered both their lives, the deep bond she still carries with Tuvok and Janeway, how her identity evolved after decades of no longer being a Borg or a Delta Quadrant outsider. For the first time, Voyager's finale and Picard's final act will connect in meaningful ways, stitching Seven's emotional arcs together rather than leaving them as isolated chapters. And yes, early hints suggest we'll see how her growth influenced her command philosophy long before she ever sat in the captain's chair of the Enterprise. Chakotay and Janeway. Finally addressing the silence. One of Voyager's longest-running frustrations was its hesitant treatment of Chakotay and Janeway's unspoken bond. Fans saw the potential for something deeper, whether romantic or platonic, but the show shied away from resolution. The new finale is not promising romance. What it is promising is honesty. Chakotay, now a decorated officer with years of diplomatic service behind him, has spent decades trying to reconcile his loyalty to Janeway with the suppressed resentment he carried after their return. He lost his ship, his Maquis identity, and his direction in life once Voyager came home. Now, an unexpected mission reunites them under circumstances that make avoidance impossible. Their long-delayed confrontation isn't about longing or melodrama. It's about two leaders acknowledging the scars of 7 years spent navigating impossible terrain, each forced into roles they didn't always choose. And for fans, that emotional clarity is long overdue. The return of the Voyager family. The special will reportedly feature meaningful arcs for the entire ensemble, with each character receiving the kind of spotlight the original finale didn't have time to give. Highlights rumored in the development notes include Tom Paris confronting how his rebellious edge faded within the rigid expectations of Starfleet stardom, B'Elanna Torres rediscovering the fire she thought she lost after settling into domestic life, Harry Kim, the perpetual ensign, finally receiving the recognition fans have demanded for decades, Tuvok, wrestling with the deterioration of his condition and the painful truth that even a Vulcan mind can fracture under too much isolation. The Doctor, now a pioneer in holographic rights, returning to the ship that first taught him what sentience truly meant. The crew's reunion isn't a nostalgia trip, it's the collision of who they were with who they've become. And the catalyst is a mystery tied directly to their unfinished business in the Delta Quadrant, where Voyager once faced countless species bent on assimilation or oblivion. This new story centers on something more reflective, a call for help from a Delta Quadrant world they once reshaped, intentionally or not. Something Voyager did years ago is now reverberating across the quadrant, and the crew must grapple with the consequences of their well-intended interference. It's the ultimate Prime Directive dilemma coming home to roost. This brings them back not as warriors or explorers, but as caretakers of their own legacy. For a show built on discovery, transformation, and responsibility, it's the perfect thematic echo. The ending fans actually deserve. What makes this finale feel different and exciting is that it's not rewriting Voyager. It's not trying to fix it. Instead, it's embracing that Voyager's ending was emotionally unfinished and finally giving space for the conversation fans have been having for 25 years. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.